Good morning, students. Today we are going to have our another lecture of theory of machine, and today's topic which we are going to discuss is band brake. So let's start with the definition of band brake. So a band brake consists of a flexible band of leather, rope or a steel lined friction material which impresses a part of the circumference of the drum. That means in the previous class we have already discussed about the shoe brake. So in the shoe brake we have discussed that there is a block or there is a wheel, and the block and the wheel is in direct contact, and due to that when there is a load applied on the lever which is above the block, so when there is a load is applied at that point of time, this load actually presses the block and indirectly presses the wheel, and through that the brake is being applied. So in this case, that means in the situation of band brake there is a slight change. That means I have written that in the lower portion, that is it can be varied from shoe brake by distance or indirect linkage of lever with the brake drum. That means there is no direct linkage of brake drum with the lever, so there will be a linkage, that means there will be an invariant, and which can be done by a leather or a rope or a steel line friction material. That means the wheel and the lever will not be in direct contact, rather it will be linked through a rope or a leather belt. So this type of arrangement is commonly known as band brake. In other words, I can simplify this definition as, if the wheel of any vehicle is not in direct contact with the lever and it is indirectly contact with the help of a leather belt or rope or any steel lined material, at this type of arrangement of brakes are commonly known as band brake. So for more clarification, I will draw you the figure or arrangement of band brake. It will help you to clarify how the mechanism of band brake. So now coming back to the mechanism part of band brake, how this works. So this is a typical arrangement of band brake. This is the upper section, this one is a lever which is denoted by C. O is the fulcrum point, and the outer section of this wheel is brake band, and the inward wheel is the brake drum, and inside that shaft is being aligned. So, and there is 2 points which is being attached with the fulcrum, one through the point B, another through the fulcrum point O. And there are few nomenclatures which are given, which I will discuss you further. So before starting this nomenclature portions, let me tell you how this band brake works. So you can see that there is a load at the end of this lever that is denoted by P. So the P is the load or the force being applied at the lever. So when this P force is being applied, at that time this force throughout the lever at fulcrum point O is being traveled, and since O is connected with this brake drum and also with the band, so this ultimately tightens this shaft or this leather portion. That means what I have mentioned you the tension, that is the T2. So this will ultimately tight this side or slack this side, or reversely slack this side or tight this side. So ultimately when the load is applied, at that time this tension is being applied on that a slight leather form. It can be either rope or a leather belt or any steel line material. So tension is being applied on that position, and due to that the wheel a frictional force, since this is a friction material, so due to the presence of coefficient of friction, a frictional force which being applied at the bend, and due to this the brake will be applied. So in simpler word I can define you, when a force of P is applied at the lever, this goes throughout to the fulcrum pin, since it is connected to it with a leather portion or a rope portion, so tension will develop. This tension will throughout develop a frictional force throughout the band and the brake drum, and due to that at final position the force or the brake will be applied. So I hope you understand the mechanism portion. Now let me tell you the few nomenclatures which I have mentioned here and which I have given in the figure also. So here T1 I have mentioned. So T1 is the tensor in the tight side. T2 will be the tensor in the slack side. That means let us suppose here T1 is mentioned here, so this will be the tight side and this will be a slack side. Since it is in clockwise direction, it can be varied from directional point of view. And theta will be the angular length of the band, mu will be the coefficient of friction between band and drum, r be the radius of the drum, that is given by here r, T will be the thickness of the band, that is given by T, and Ra will be the effective radius, that will be given by R plus T by 2. So these are the few nomenclatures, and now we will discuss with the explanation part how this works. So now coming to the mechanism part. So this is the band break of situation considering the clockwise direction. So when we will consider the clockwise direction, then this side, that which T1 will be the tight side, and here T2, that is being denoted by T2, this side will be the slack side. But if we consider the case of anti-clockwise direction, then the situation will ultimately reverse. So now first taking the clockwise case. So I've already discussed you that this load ultimately put tension on this rope or belt, and this will ultimately implement a braking force on the band or brake drum, and which will at last apply or amplify the brake. So as we have discussed in the belt drive or the rope drive, we have got through a formula, that is the ratio of tensions, and which will be given by T1 by T2 equals to E to the power mu theta. Already we have studied about this in our previous chapters. So on taking log both sides, we can get through this formula to this, that will be given as 2.3 log T1 by T2 equals to mu theta. I have already discussed about this in the previous chapters. So now if we have to calculate the braking force on the drum, that will be given by the formula, that will be the tension, that is the differences of tension between these two ropes, that will be given by T1 minus T2. Similarly, the braking torque, what is torque? Torque is force into the radius or the perpendicular distance. So that will be given by TB equals to T1 minus T2 into R, and that where R is the radius, or it can also be written as T1 minus T2 into RA, and where RA is the effective radius. In effective radius, I have already discussed you that in effective radius we consider the thickness of the band also. So if the thickness of the band is given, then you will go through this formula. If the thickness is not given, then you will go through this formula. So now the final one point, that how to calculate this P if the Phi force or T1 if the sufficient data is not given. So for that portion, as in our shoe brake, we have does the steps, that is taking moment. So we'll do the same here also, taking moment about point O. So we'll take a moment about point O. On taking moment about point O, we are getting three forces actually, P, T1 and T2, but for T2 there is no perpendicular distance, so we will not consider this one. We will consider only T1 and P. So for the force P, the perpendicular distance will be L, and for the force T1 or tension T1, the perpendicular distance will be this distance B, since we are taking the moment about point O. So taking moment about point O, we can get through this formula, P into L equals to T1 into B. So this is the whole scenarios of band brake, and this is the case of band brake while we take the band or the brake drum is moving in clockwise direction. So I hope you understand this. Now let's get to the point if the band or the brake drum move in anti-clockwise direction. So there will be slight change in the diagram and in the mathematical equation which I will provide you. So this is the case for band brake when the brake drum moves in anti-clockwise direction. So this will be the same as clockwise direction, simply there is slight change I have given in the figure, that is I have already changed the direction, that is anti-clockwise direction, and I have changed the tension side. That means in the previous case, that in clockwise direction, this rope will giving the tension in the tight side. So I have denoted this as T1 and this one is T2 in the clockwise case, but here I have mentioned that T2 here and T1 here. That means means I have simply reversed the cases. So this will be the tension of tight side in anti-clockwise case, and this will be the tension in the slack side. Whereas in the clockwise cases, this one the tight one and this one was the slack one. So simply I have reversed the situation. Otherwise the formulas, let's discuss D1, 1 state 2, all the formulas will be same till here. Only there will be slight change in the moment section, the final one, that will be in the previous case we have given P into L equals to T1 into B, but here since the tension of the slack side, this becomes the tension in the slack side, so this will be given by the formula that is P into L equals to T2 into B. Simply reverse the or replace the T1 by T2. This will ultimately give you the case of band brake in anti-clockwise direction. That means band brake where brake drum is moving in anti-clockwise direction. I hope you have understand whole the concept of band brake. So make a notes and get it through. If you have any query, let me know.